Hello and welcome to this video about the Promethean ActivPanel range. The purpose of this video is to help you decide or find out what Promethean ActivPanel do you have in your classroom. Below you can see a range of the active panels from the very first one, the ActivPanel 1, all the way through to the latest panel as of this video, which is the ActivPanel 10. So let's get started. The first one is the ActivPanel 1, and it was released in around 2013 in the UK and Ireland. You can see some guides on the right hand side, as you'll see for all of these different slides, telling you how to find out what version you have, but generally it'll be a physical differentiator. So for the ActivPanel 1, as you'll see on this side of the board, on the underside, so not on the front, underneath it, you'll have an HDMI, a touch USB, and something called a TV USB as well. You will also find, or should also find, a serial number sticker, and as you see here, it's on the bottom left corner of the panel. That can be awkward to get to if depending on how it's been installed, and it will start with a model number of APT65 or APT70. The 65 and 70 refers to the size of the panel, so 65 inches across diagonally and 70 across diagonally as well. Another indicator is the control buttons are on the bottom right hand corner just here. You can, if you're going to use it, find out if you've got styluses compared to touch. Styluses will not work on this, touch will work on this, as in your finger will work on there, but that should give you an idea for the 1. The 2, very similar. It does look marginally different, but you'll see in the bottom right we now have rounded buttons instead, and you've also got a source option as well. It'll be the APT2. 55, 65, 70 or 84 inches, as you can see here. There will be a serial number as well, I didn't mention in the last slide, and you can see it'll be one of these it will start off with to give you an indicator as well. You will also find that there's a media USB port in the bottom left corner, again underneath the panel essentially, but you should be able to work that out. If you're looking at when you bought the panel, it's 2014 for the ActivPanel 2. The hardest transition in terms of differences between the 2 and 3 on this. All of them look pretty different in my opinion. 2 and 3 look almost identical, but it's even with terms of what you'll see here. So it's the rounded buttons, but your real differentiator there we're going to be your model number. So it's AP as opposed to APT 55, 65, 70, and 74 there. If you are going to be using it, so have a good look at that if you're trying to work out whether it's an AP, an ActivPanel 3 or a 2, and it was released in 2015 to give you some context. The ActivPanel 4 represents quite a big jump for panels, and it is a really common panel as well. Difference is here, your model number is AP4, so we're now starting to get a bit of consistency, and you'll see from here on out it should be 5, 6, 7, etc. It should be a bit easier to find out what you have. This is the ActivPanel 4 with the various sizes, and you've got your serial number. The control buttons are on the right hand side of the board this time, not on the bottom, and you'll see they're more like slanted ovals for each of these here. You'll be able to see them as well. Another indicator is it's very likely that when this got in 2016 you would have got an ActivConnect G model. This is the ActivConnect G. It's a wee silver box, and it usually hangs on the back or down the left, but it'll be attached to your panel in some way via USB and HDMI cables, and it will give you this operating system. If you don't have an operating system, you've never had one, it might be you never had an ActivConnect G, although they did tend to come with the panels most of the time, and that can vary from case to case, but generally they came with the panels, and that's what it will look like on the front. You may have noticed that in the previous models there was no sort of operating system shown because you just plugged in your computer, whereas with the 4 onwards there's an operating system involved here. So there's an Android operating system, has like a dark pink circle in the middle, and you can tap on that. These are all touch sensitive obviously as well. So that's the ActivPanel 4, as you say, released in 2016. ActivPanel 5 does look marginally different. It's slightly wider at the bottom, as you can see here, and it's the first one where you can very clearly see speakers in the front, but you can see the buttons, nice plastic buttons on the front here. This is your power button, your volume up and down, and the difference here is you've got HDMI, you've got a touch cable, HDMI, and a regular USB one. It still has the same ActivConnect G included, so it's very likely that's been included as well. The pen tray is the biggest thing along the bottom. You can pop your pen on here as well, and again, as I said, now you're into AP575s when you're looking at it as well. There are different sizes, and it'll be slightly different, but that was released in 2017. That's the ActivPanel 5. The ActivPanel 6, again, you've got your pen tray. Again, looks pretty similar to the 5. You've got options down the left-hand side, 2 USBs this time, as opposed to 1, a touch USB and an HDMI, and your physical buttons. To give you an idea, they've swapped over. So on the 5, the physical buttons are on the left. On the 6, the physical buttons are on the right. And again, now your AP6, 65, 75, 86, etc. The difference here is you can, and people have had the Active Connect connected list, but it's much more likely to be one of these. This is an Active Connect OPS-G as opposed to an Active Connect G. And this is a little module that slides into the right-hand side of the panel. What you'll probably see is 2 of these aerials sticking out the sides of it, and this is the operating system it gives you. Guys, a lighter pink one here that you're able to use, and it's very similar, but it's faster and things like that. So that's definitely an option. Release window is about 2018, 2019. What you'll find from here on out is the release windows got larger because panels were probably built better and lasted longer, and the operating systems lasted longer as well. And so you'll find that there's sort of now they will be between 1.5 to 2 years for each panel. So for the ActivPanel 6, it's 2018, 2019. Now alongside the ActivPanel 6, there was also the I series was released, which is very, very similar, a slightly more cost-effective model. Now the big difference here is it has a little like a case or like a flap that you can pull down and pull up and to protect your buttons, and underneath that flap you've got touch port 1, HDMI, and also got a mic port as well, but it does look different to the ActivPanel 6 in terms of how at the bottom, if you can see here. You'll also find that central cover, I should have read that's what it's called. It's called a VTP65 or a VTP275. That gives you an idea as your model number. It will come again with the OPS-G module, or should do. Again, slides into the side, so look for those aerials, and that should give you an idea whether you've got an I series as well. Now we're into the 7s, what I would call sort of the modern iteration of panels. These are panels, so this particular brand of panel doesn't necessarily need to have a module attached to it. Some of them do, some still do have the OPS-G module connected to it, and so if you look down the side you might still see those aerials, but they don't need them. There's an onboard operating system on the panel. It's like an iPad that sits on the wall, and the 7 was also known as the Element series. It has 3 types. It has a nickel, has a cobalt, and it has a titanium, and the way you tell the difference is where the buttons are located. Nickel, they're on the right hand side and they're flatter. Cobalt, you have a little central console here that sort of sits out, juts out, and the titanium, you've also got a central console, but it has a silver lining underneath it just there. You can see all these, the model numbers, what they're called. This is a AP7-U65, AP7-A65, and AP7-B75 or 65. They've different sizes there for each of the models, of course, and that'll give you an idea as to what you have. What you'll also find is, if you aren't sure, this little thing is called the unified menu, and you should have this available on the left, the right, and the bottom of your screen. So that'll give you a good indicator of whether you've got an ActivPanel 7 or not, and which one you have. But the release window here was 2020 to around 2022. Around 2022, 2023, the ActivPanel LX was brought out. Again, it is a bit like the I series. It's a more cost-effective model as well. Difference here is you've got a little central console of physical buttons. You've got your ports on the left-hand side. The Promethean logo is displayed on the right-hand side, which is quite unusual compared to the rest of the models. Your model number is APLX, which keeps it nice and simple, or APLX something, depending on your size as well. And this will also come with an OPS-A model included as well, so you should see a very similar operating system. The difference here is this is not an OPS-A or an Active Connect OPS-G. This is an OPS-A, so it's slightly different. That's why this little operating system looks slightly different. It's a much more modern Android type operating system. You will also find this OPS-A, or what's called the OPS-A 1, can be included with the ActivPanel 10, can be included with the ActivPanel 9, as we'll see in a minute. But it's something that is first started to appear with the ActivPanel LX and the next model that you're about to see as well, which is the 9. The 9 does not need an OPS-A. It sometimes comes with it, but it does not need it. It is a bit like the 7, and it's an onboard operating system. There's 2 types of the ActivPanel 9. It was released in 2022-2024, standard and premium. Keeping it much simpler, more like your iPhone type model as your iPhone regular and your iPhone Pro. It's kind of what this is like. So you've got an onboard operating system with your applications on a little window. You can also, on this Premium, on both of them, sorry, you can sign in and out of the panel. So it has roaming profiles. Now on the Premium, and how you tell it's a Premium is if it has this little reader on the bottom left. It's an NFC card reader. In fact, in the box that the panel came with, where the cables and remotes were, you will also find you've got a little NFC card there as well that you can assign. But you've got the Premium numbers are AP9, B75, AP9, B70, AP9, B86, and AP9, A75. So the big difference here, they're both AP9, but the standards are A's and the Premiums are B's. And again, it gives you an idea of what, of how to sort of navigate that and how to work out which is which. The LE is a very new panel. It's currently out at the time of this video, and it has a number of differences. Your Promethean logo's in the middle, but the biggest giveaway is you've got these little pen, I'm going to call them pen holders, even though there's nothing physical on them. They're actually magnetic, so it holds the pens magnetically. So there are two either side of the Promethean logo in the middle, and you've got your port and your power button on the left hand side as well. There's no other physical buttons on the panel. The only physical button on the LE is the power button. A lot of it's done by the remote control. Again, this is very like the 9 and the 7 in that it has an onboard operating system baked into the panel itself. It looks like this, and as you'll see here, there's your model number LE65, LE7586 as well, and the serial numbers there as well. And then finally, we've got the ActivPanel 10. This is our main panel line. And again, at the moment, at the time of writing, this is the most up-to-date panel that we have. And again, a bit like the 9, it comes in two versions. You've got the standard and you've got the premium. Both are really, really similar looking. So if you look at it in a classroom, side by side, I think most people would struggle to see a difference there. So you have a central console with Promethean in the middle, some physical buttons as well. You've even got a little proximity sensor, which I know you can't see, just there below the Promethean flame on each of them, and it looks really similar. What you might find to work out if it's a 10 Premium, it might have a camera, but only if you've bought one, because it's an added extra. It will have an ActivPanel 2 that comes with it, but sometimes it's left in the box. People don't know it's there. Very often they go to schools and that's the case. But it does go in there. That being said, you can use that on the standard as well. So the best way of working if you're 10 standard or a 10 premium is you look at the model number, or if you want to, a serial number. So you have AP10, A65, AP10, B65. So a B is a premium and A is a standard. Maybe it should be the other way around, but that's the way it is. And you can see there. These panels will come with the OPSA 2 module, and the OPSA 2 module is the newer version of the OPSA 1 module, as you'd imagine. It has 3 prongs, and so you'll be able to plug that in at the side. You'll see 3 prongs sitting out just at the side here, roughly around here down the side, and it looks just like that. As you can see, you've got a little operating system there to use, and as I say, it's currently out. Any questions, my details will be in the description of this video. Please give me an email and drop me a line, and we can help you out. But hopefully this helps with you getting some insight into what panel you currently have.